on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
We are going overseas with Cavalier Cigars. Today, the cigars we will be reviewing are the White Series Diplomate, the Black 2 Robusto, the B2 Viso Jalapa, the Prospektor, and an event-only Lancero. Go to your local shop, guys. Go to your local shop. Talk to your people. When you find out they're having an event, if they're having a Cavalier event, go. Because their reps are extremely knowledgeable and their brand is fantastic. And you can get some really good deals on some really quality cigars. Go try these cigars. Like, you're not going to hate it.
Yeah, all in all, the Cavaliers are chiefs, top of the line. Always be reaching for one.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. Hey man, got a light? It's time for smokes.
Good morning, smokers. Trying something new today. How'd it go, folks?
No. The red button. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. There you go.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to this Smokes episodes where everything good in life is worth discussing. I'm your host, good old boy Barger. On the ones and twos, we got good old boy Ben jamming.
Check, 1, 2.
And we got good old boy Mike in the hot seat today.
This is at the top of questionable decisions.
This is fair. And good old boy Rich with us today as well.
How do?
All right, we're the best thing on at 2 a.m. right before that damn quinceanera that's still going on next door.
Oh.
They just go for so long.
Well, it's so much soda pop and, lemonade and limeade.
I just can't do it.
Yes.
And then that's just
it's
after
like glitter everywhere.
That's right. You wake up and there's glitter all over your car. And we're on just after doom scrolling because you cannot sleep.
Oof. Is there a support group for that?
Oh, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Because, I get, like, thumb springs at, like, 2 a.m.
That must suck for a lawyer, especially because you have to write all day long.
No.
The pressure on your thumb.
Man, I just,
No, it's
I steph that thing out.
All the finger pointing.
Right.
It's all the finger pointing.
You do this. Write this.
Yeah.
Write what I say.
I still have my finger I can point with. But, if it's doom scrolling, it's a thumb injury.
I see ya.
I need someone to take some dictation.
Yes. Someone dictate what I'm saying, please. As you know, and well, as I hope you know, our smoke segments are all about cigars or, well, anything that smokes. As for today's segment, drum roll, please. We are going overseas with Cavalier Cigars. Yeah! So strap in and hang in tight. We're going to have fun today. But don't worry, if you miss anything, you can download a full episode from anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We are everywhere. Go listen to us. Listen to us on multiple platforms. We love it all. We will listen and keep talking. But before we dive into the shallow end of the pool, remember the buddy system. Where's your buddy?
We didn't load that one. Sorry.
You missed the buddy system today?
You didn't think you were going to do that
buddy?
today.
We'll just play it out. Buddy! That's right.
Buddy.
Well, if you're a cigar newbie, fret not. We got you covered on our Cigar 101 episode where all this cigar speak will be decoded. Just search for Sips, Suds, and Smokes on Cigar 101. That episode should pop right up on the link below.
Fabulous episode.
It's a great episode. That's right. I am good old boy Barger, and I'm going to tell you our smokes rating today. We will be smoking and discussing these cigars and rating them with our Sips, Suds, and Smokes patented rating.
Patent.
And our signature sounds.
Interesting.
Patent pending.
Who did that?
Yeah. 1, it sucked before it was lit. 2, at least I lit it. 3, I'd smoke it again. 4, how much you up for them?
Magnificent.
5, where are they? I need a box. Today, the cigars we will be reviewing are the White Series Diplomate, the Black 2 Robusto, the B2 Viso Jalapa, the Prospektor, and an event-only Lancero. So Rich is going to take it away at the top of the hour with the White Series Diplomate 5.5 by 56.
Is it Diplomate or Diplomate?
Diplomate. I'm going to go with Diplomate.
My French is a little rusty.
So this is the White
That's
Series.
one of those big words.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of those big 2-syllable words.
That ain't American right there. The White Series is the original blend of the brand. It was Sebastian's Decoupe's first take on a mild to medium but very complex cigar. The cigars offer beautiful transition in all sizes, while each of them provides a distinct experience and personality.
That sounds like exactly what's happening here at this table.
Yeah.
Is there is a broad range of experience and personality.
That's
Yes.
true. That's true.
Lots of different sizes.
I'm on the
as
no
well,
ink
right?
end of the
That's right.
table.
That's right. We're just going to need you to use that thumb.
I am au naturel to tattoo.
If you'll just use that thumb and take some notes for us today, we'll be
Let
great.
me connect the dots. I'll get,
The wrapper on this is a Habano. The binder's Connecticut. The fillers are Nicaragua, Paraguay, and Dominican Republic.
Huh.
And if I go by my script, it's asked for Thoits.
Thoits, yeah.
Thoits,
I
okay.
just thought I'd throw that in there to
Thoits,
see what you
thoughts.
thought
Yeah.
about the, my script
I
writing.
have to say, this is the first time that I recall that I've had a filler from Paraguay.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Is
That's not a
is it-
very common filler.
Didn't Nova have some?
No, I don't think so. That doesn't ring a
I've
bell.
had some Paraguay cigars.
Let's see here. Anyways.
We'll search
Folks,
for
go
that
back
later.
and listen and point it out to Mike.
Yeah.
Just make sure you
Send me
add
hate
Mike on that.
Yeah.
Sip, Suds, and Smokes.
Dr.
Yeah.
Hater at
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what did you guys think about?
Yeah.
Rich, what did you think since you're on deck?
Yeah, the Cavaliers, interesting, has the gold leafing on the wrapper. I found it
Every cigar.
every
Signature.
cigar,
Yep.
every cigar,
Signature
Yep.
gold leaflet.
and I found it
Square.
a personal challenge to smoke it all the way through that, just because.
Smoke the gold, baby. Smoke
yeah.
the
No,
gold.
why? Yeah.
No, I really like this cigar. Had a little slight sweetness, very smooth, mild to medium body, and I'm almost hesitant to say it was a little woody.
Why don't you speak to the mic and not to me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
What did
It was a little woody. Wasn't that woody?
I didn't ask for this.
You said the word.
Yeah, yeah. But I like this cigar. I felt like I could smoke it at any time. Yeah, good smoke for me.
Mr. Woods?
For the White Series Corona, I wrote it's a little spicy up front. The spice kind of subdues, and you pick up some wood.
Not going to do it. He's resisting.
Oh,
That's good.
okay.
That's
All right.
good.
And it's I wrote down as kind of ho-hum. It was kind of below average,
That's
for me.
The door. And you can leave at any moment.
I was just like, hi ho. It's off to the next cigar we go. So that's kinda
Mike
how I
has
felt about it.
unbelievable standards
Yeah.
that he is never
Unrealistic,
able
would
to
almost-
achieve.
There are
This is
cigars
why
in this
he's
lineup I like.
so
Okay.
angry in life.
This was not at the top. It wasn't at the bottom. I can tell you that.
Oh.
So there's that.
Oh.
Benjamin?
This was my introduction smoke to this brand. I guess I found out about Cavalier about a year ago.
Yeah.
And started smoking them. And this was my first experience and what kind of lit that fire for this brand for me. Also got to meet Sebastian and his team.
Salt of the earth.
PCA 23.
Yeah, I like
great people.
That just turned the volume up for me. These guys don't miss for me.
Absolutely.
I think, especially in that all day smoking mindset.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong grabbing a Cavalier any time of day. They work.
I kind of like to think of them as like and they're not really a budget stick, but I like to think of them as a budget Davidoff.
They're not crazy though, man.
Yeah.
I just heard everyone's head exploded. Davidoff.
I wish to register a complaint.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
For me,
I can hear them filing for injunctive relief right now.
For me, it's just the consistency, like the consistency of their burn,
you hear what he
of their
said?
cigars, and how consistent Sebastian is with the flavor profiles of his cigars. Just remind me of like early days of the Davidoff, like just real. You know what you're going to get every time you pick one up.
I concur. I think the consistency here is overwhelming almost.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, didn't miss again. Right? So, but that's exactly what you're looking for. I think that's the mark of a brand that's doing the right thing, making the right decisions, and actually caring about what they're doing. He's not just in it because he wants to make a ton of money, which is
it's for the love of the game.
Refreshing, man. Like, he just likes making cool cigars, and it works.
Interesting, because I did have some construction issues with these cigars.
You probably kept them in your humidor too long or something.
Yeah.
You set it on the counter for a week.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's amazing.
Barger handed them to me. I smoked them.
You were smoking with the wrong hand.
Oh, yeah,
so you your right hand, not your left hand.
It wasn't too bad for most of them, but I did kind of have to do some touch-ups here and there.
Well, I will say this, and I've witnessed you smoke hundreds of cigars, and I love you.
Here it comes.
You smoke entirely too fast.
Oh, okay.
And you have a lot of canoe issues.
No, I do not. I don't have canoe issues.
You have enough canoe issues that I've given you a paddle for Christmas.
Wow. Yeah, dude.
At least they didn't give you the metronome.
That was a different kind of
At least they didn't give you the metronome.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
No.
I'll tell you what.
I do not smoke too fast.
You do sometimes. It's okay. We'll talk about it.
I'm a hardy smoker.
Listen, I thought that I really concur with Benjamin. I think that this is a good introduction to their line because this is their flagship. This is a great cigar to pick up. I'm a big fan of Cavalier, period. And thankful that we got an opportunity to go over their product line. But this cigar, if you haven't had it, I would suggest you go get it. What are we going to rate this, guys? We'll go with 4. Majority rules here, so we have 4 ratings.
Magnificent.
All right, so next up after the break, we're going to do the Black 2, and that's going to be Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so once we come back from the break, you'll hear all the goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. Did you guys buy what they were just talking about? Because I already bought 2, and I'm so happy with my purchase. What about you, Mike?
Expedited shipping.
Yeah, expedite the shipping. Just overnight that, and we're here.
Use that promo code.
Use the promo code.
Mike
hey, guys.
sucks.
So, yeah, for real. Mike's opinion is garbage.
I think that sucks. I think it sucks.
Absolutely. So we're going to go with the Black 2 now. Mike's going to tell us all about that. It's a Robusto 5x50. Take it away, Mike.
The Black 2 blended to deliver a unique old-school Maduro experience. The line offers richness and complexity with a medium strength. Cigars give an amazing aged tobacco experience combined to a dark profile. The wrapper on this is San Andreas, the binder is Habano, and the filler is Nicaraguan. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I heard you, over there.
I love the San Andreas wrapper.
Yeah, I like it when it's really good. And in this,
you better just stop.
In this particular case, I did. This was my favorite of the flight.
Go on.
So this is Barger and I were at an event last night, so this was the cigar I was enjoying when I was there.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
why you wouldn't talk to me.
Yeah, I was concentrating on this.
I
Caught
thought
my
it was because
attention.
you didn't want to see me in public.
I wrote down very chill. How many cigars have I written that down?
Wow.
Like 0.
Can I get a ding on that one?
Yeah.
That was a...
Yeah, very chill, mild up front, a tad earthy. It kind of maintains the chill all the way through the middle. And I had a really cool beer that was paired with this. We can talk about that after we finish talking about the cigar. But yeah, I really like this. It was definitely a solid pick out of the whole flight. It was my favorite out of the whole product.
That's interesting. You liked the San Andreas over all the things.
No,
I'm so glad this is recorded.
Yes. I love great cigars. And, yes,
disagree with that statement.
there are some wrappers that I prefer over others, depending on usually what I'm pairing it with. And I really enjoyed what I paired this with. I do think it, elevated the experience.
Well, what'd you pair it with?
It was a very unique beer from a brewery called OEC. It was a black lager, and it was actually finished in a cool ship. So,
what's a cool ship?
So, a cool ship is just like a really big table sink that they flow all the beer out after they finish the primary boil on it.
So like a giant stainless steel square tub.
Is exactly it. They're usually fairly big. I don't know what the size of their...
About the size of this room we're in.
Yeah.
I would say, 10 by 20, maybe some of the larger cool ships are 30 by 30.
4 foot deep, probably.
Yeah. No, shallow. Yeah. It's all about surface area, because what you want is it to get infected with natural yeast. So they tend to have cool ships where they actually open the windows up and they just let the wind blow in, and whatever yeast just kind of blows across, onto it. That then infects the beer, so it actually winds up with it's a bit sour. And in this case, I actually wrote down the word, it was incredibly refreshing. And so this was a great pairing, and I think it actually elevated the cigar for me.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Sips episode. I'm gonna.
It was a Suds.
No, that is
great
Suds.
that
really good beer.
So I wanted you to take the time to say that, because I really think that it's important for our listeners. If you had that experience with that type of beer, I think it's important that people understand it's okay to grab a sour beer or something that's funky with a cigar, because
absolutely.
You get a lot of that different yeast, and sometimes that Brettanomyces comes out. Sometimes that, I'm sure I said that wrong.
What did you just say?
Right.
Hold up.
I don't know where he's coming from.
You couldn't get its earlier, but
bro,
Tandrodomyosis or whatever.
No,
I struggle with the
Benjamin, that's an infected finger, okay?
I struggle with the small words.
When it comes to alcohol,
But
he
no,
can nail it.
Got it.
I think that's important that the listeners, and it's something that we don't really punch on too much, is how tasting notes compare with other cigars, like how different alcohols and different coffees and different teas and things that the herbs, the spices, the natural air, the yeast, all those things play into how you enjoy your cigar. And I think that that's something that I would like to dive into in an episode sometime, is just pairings. Like, we're going to do a pairings episode next season, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I do that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Is that an AA or what is that? I'm confused.
I take a 20-minute break usually.
Yeah, for sure. Rich, what did you think about it?
No, I totally agree. I love this cigar. I picked up a little campfire kind of taste.
Would you say that's wood?
A little bit, yeah. I had a little medium bold, a little bit of cedar. I don't know. Just really, really good for me.
Benjamin?
This thing rocks.
Yeah? Tell me about it.
So it's got some body to it. It's got some heft to it, but it reminds me of like the first Padron I ever smoked. It has
that's a very good comparison.
It's got some it's got some old dustiness in a really cool way,
but also a little oily,
right? Velvety. The the smoke does have like a really nice texture to it. And this is a cigar you feel like you're smoking a cigar. And so that's the experience that I'm looking for on a pretty consistent basis.
Yeah.
I want the smoke to kind of be big and kind of heavy and weighty. And this thing absolutely delivers that.
Mm-hmm. You know what, guys? I've smoked enough of these that I absolutely love this cigar. It's a banger in my book for sure. I've smoked everything that Cavalier has had, multiples, because I'm just this last year really introducing. The year before last was my introduction to Cavalier as a whole, and then getting to meet Sebastian and talk to him, and pick his brain a little bit about what his brands are and what he's doing. Like, man, it just solidifies that I support that brand 100%. And it is a fantastic cigar to smoke. This is another one of their cores that if you pick one up, I doubt you'll be disappointed.
For sure.
Let's give it a rating. That is a 4 across the board.
Yep.
And I'm
magnificent.
Always miss that cue. But I am extremely satisfied to see Mike's 4 little stubby fingers.
I would go back and enjoy this cigar again.
Would
That
you?
is my highest compliment.
Ooh.
Yeah, because
I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
I don't double back on anything. I just
No.
we have too many things to try, for the show, and
your first wife said the same thing.
We'll fix that in post.
Deep cut.
All right, here on Comedy Hour with Mike and Mike here.
You were going to talk about some time with Sebastian.
You know what? We spent some time with Sebastian at PCA for the last couple of years. We've spent about an hour with him, sitting with him, smoking a cigar and getting to know him a little bit. That dude's awesome. His whole team is just solid, salt of the earth people. They're real down to earth, extremely approachable. But what we kind of connected on was his love for black metal. And my love for black metal, and how we
good pairing
transpose those things into our flavor profiles of cigars, which is interesting. And so I think that a lot of some of the influence that goes into that can also be attributed to music. When he's blending and listening to music, and it's not just black metal, he listens to all sorts of different types of music. But, I think that there is a distinction between the receptors in our brain that music flows through and our taste buds. I think those two things correlate. I can't say there's science on it. I haven't put that out there. But in my brain, it makes sense.
Well, so pairing's all about experience. And what you're looking for in that experience, whether it be complementary or contrasting, it's about finding the right space to be in to reach that maximum level of enjoyment. So whether it is your favorite rum, a cool new beer that you're excited about, a cigar you've never smoked before,
50-50 tea.
Having a hard day at work and coming home to want to listen to some music and kind of, de-stress and just kind of ground and reconnect to yourself, you have that opportunity. And when those things line up, when all of those things come together perfectly, it makes that experience something that is memorable and it works. And so I think that's a really good point for us too, because we're on here spewing our opinions about all of the things that
Well, Mike is on here spewing his opinion. We're
Does that come with a face guard?
About all the things that we like or dislike, identify with, don't identify with. But I think that overriding note is try it for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're in the right space and time, everything can be a little bit different. So it's worth going back.
That's right.
Unlike Mike has time to do, revisiting a little bit.
And if you're going to spew into this.
I'm not going to tell everybody.
But just know that those experiences change based on, the atmosphere and something, like music makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there's, everything in itself is a mental game, right? So whether you're on the golf course, whether
I've met a lot of mental people.
Whether you're drinking, whether you're post meal, whether you're pre meal, just something where you could sit down. And I think that's the key. And honestly, I think that's where he is striving to get you to do, is to take a second, know where you're at, and slow down.
Pretty deep for a cigar.
And just, but see, that's what this brand really reminds me of, is taking a second for me. Like when I light a Cavalier cigar, I'm not just going to willy-nilly light a Cavalier cigar. I'm going to actually sit down and I'm going to think about things, and I'm going to sit there and enjoy the cigar. Because for me, it's the experience of that. Like there's plenty of cigar brands, you'll just light and mow the yard, light and do this, light and do that. But there's particular brands in my brain anyway that I have a higher regard for.
Well, and that's and that's why you go, like when you have something to celebrate. Yeah, like
absolutely.
When my daughter got married,
absolutely, the wedding.
You gave me a cigar, and it's like, you want to. It's for me a cigar, a good cigar. You sit down, and it makes you kind of just slow down.
Yeah,
and
be present.
You have to You have to sit there and. You can enjoy it, and it just totally just chills me and relaxes me. So like at the wedding, right after the ceremony, man, I lit up a good cigar and I was just able to float around the room.
See, usually my guard up is when Barger walks over and he says, "Hey man, why don't you go smoke this?" With no context at all. My radar is on full.
That's because you're just scared it's a joint. Which is not unlike me.
I mean, the difference between that and pull my finger is about 1.8 seconds,
Fool me once, Barger. Fool me once.
That's right. Shame on me.
All right, well, we're going to jump right into the next one, the B2 Viso Jalapa. And that's the Viso Jalapa. They call that the new school. And we had the Torpedo, the 6x52. Benjamin, take it away.
Yeah, so the B2 Viso Jalapa line puts the Viso Jalapa wrapper on the front of the scene. The cigars deliver a deep, rich, and oily profile for a new school Maduro experience. Wrapper Viso Jalapa, binder Habano, filler Nicaraguan. This actually says thoughts. So crush that.
Thoughts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Proud of you.
Hey, man.
Proud of you, bud.
Spelling's hard. Thank you.
Spell check.
Copy, paste.
Yeah.
Try it.
Repeat.
So for me, and I think this is really cool, not only to talk about these cigars back to back, but if you decide to pick up Cavalier cigars to kind of smoke these things, one after the other and kind of do the comparison and contrast.
Yeah.
The new school that they're talking about here is more of a like chocolatey, oily, smoother kind of smoke for me.
Sure.
This thing is more like melting chocolate. It's not like raw heavy cacao. It's more of like a blended. It's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit more approachable.
Confectionaries.
Well, so I think that those maybe get a little bitter. This one's a little bit more creamy and approachable. This is definitely more
like a milk chocolate,
desserty. This is definitely more, ganache, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
As opposed to like a raw baker's chocolate.
Sure.
And I think that that's also something that I am starting to grow into my original experience.
Chocolate?
Yeah, sure. No,
I'm growing into chocolate.
That was the showstopper?
Yeah.
Really?
Chocolate was the showstopper?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
I'm dealing with a lot of addictions now, okay?
I'm working on it.
Hey, I'm growing into chocolate
right.
too, bro.
I'm big
We'll
bonus.
do this together.
Chocolate's growing into me,
We'll do this
I think.
together.
Yeah.
Pace yourself, Benjamin.
Right? You can't have too many nuggets.
That's
right.
That's right.
Godiva, watch out. Well, also a cool way to pair cigars. I've been through a blind tasting,
absolutely,
with chocolates and cigars.
Absolutely,
cold brew coffee was in the mix too.
Oh yeah,
and you get the opportunity to almost blind your palate with those bigger, bolder flavor notes that are a little bit more prominent, and you start to see the nuance of the cigar peek through, which is a really, really cool experience.
So that was something at PCA.
Are we boring you?
No.
Yeah,
I'm just tired all the time.
Take a lap.
Yeah, right, for sure. that was something at the PCA that was really interesting to me because there were a couple of booths that were giving out chocolates as well. But there was one, and that was United Cigar Company, and they give you a full bar of dark chocolate when they handed you their cigars.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. And
that stuff was awesome to pair with some of the cigars we got from them.
Absolutely. It's a really cool experience because...
You can also mask a lot of sins as well.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But, you take the good with the bad, and you got chocolate.
And you got
and then you have chocolate.
And you got chocolate.
And that's the greatest thing about
there's chocolate involved.
And there's chocolate.
We have chocolate.
So I'll say, before I let you guys talk a little bit, I'll say this was my favorite of the bunch.
Ooh, not a fave?
No, it was my favorite.
Oh, okay.
It was my favorite of the bunch. The Torpedo size is just great. I'm not usually a larger, 48 to 52 is my go-to.
Are you talking about girth?
Yeah. Why don't we tell them what girth is?
Today we're going to be demonstrating how to measure girth. Girth is a very important measurement when determining sizes. First, take your tape measure, place it at the center of the shoulder, bring it down through the crotch, and back up again, making sure it's going over the widest part.
So the girth of the cigar actually does a lot for the flavor, if you didn't notice.
I'm keen to that information. Yeah. I've heard this about cigars and girth.
Yes.
So this was my favorite as well, I have to say.
What's up?
Yeah. With the Torpedo,
Mike probably hated it.
Yeah, probably. But with the Torpedo, I never know how much to take off, like to cut it.
Oh, like the bris?
So I'm a little conservative. I'm just saying. But I think it goes back to the girth. I didn't quite take enough off because it was a little tight. But as soon as I recut it, man, this was a great cigar.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it all the way through. It had some spice to it. Very medium body, a little leathery notes to it.
Yeah.
Here is the warmth of thickly cushioned contour seats, available even in fine Corinthian leather.
Yes. I just wanted to lay down and cuddle with it.
Yeah.
So good.
Mike, what'd you think?
I'll do this quick. It was pretty earthy up front, a little spicy, was woody, bitter, completely unbalanced.
Did you say woody?
I did not like this.
No? I knew it. I knew he wouldn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Sorry, Dr. Hater never.
That's you just can't please you.
Did not.
I don't
Worst of the flight.
Yeah. We'll come back with our rating after that. And welcome back from all those glorious commercials. I hope you enjoyed it and purchased whatever they tell you to purchase. Consume. Yeah! Consume. All right, so we're going to come back with our rating on the B2 Viso Jalapa, and we are going to exclude Mike from that rating because he's banned once again. That's a 5 across the board. Give us a box. We will take it all. All right, so up next is myself with the Prospektor Toro 6x50 that they sent us. The Prospektor is a double Kappa cigar. Both wrappers are Jalapa, but come from different primings of the plant. If you don't know what the primings are, it's the primings. Look it up. I'm just going to leave that a mystery for you. We'll talk about that in Cigar 101.
Does that mean you don't know?
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to go back to Cigar 101 with that. If you want to know what a priming is, go back and listen to it. Thank you for that. Which creates a unique depth in the profile of these cigars. The wrapper is a Jalapa, the binder is Habano, and the filler is Nicaraguan. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Rich, what did you think about this one?
I got to give you a disclaimer on this one.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. I had
He hated it.
well, I had a severe problem with this one. It had a very, very tight draw. Took probably about half of it to get through that. So I think I felt like it was, I may have skewed it a little bit, but
could it have been humidification?
I don't know. You tell me.
Was it your right hand or your left hand?
Could have been.
Were you inside or outside?
Yeah, I was outside, of course.
What were you watching on
Were there
TV?
cats involved?
Had it recently rained?
Had you just mowed the grass? I felt like I felt a little mustiness to it, slight metallic taste. Once I got through it and it started burning well, it got better. a lot better towards the second half. I muscled my way through it, loosened up a little bit, had a little slight pepper. So I think probably I'm going to have to call a do-over on this one personally.
Yeah, you want another one?
Back.
Yeah, we'll run it back. Everything's worth a second try.
Absolutely,
I think.
absolutely.
If you don't like it the first time, try it again. At least that's what my ex said.
So the thing that jumped out to me about this cigar is the packaging. Number one.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big fan of cool packaging, cool branding, and this thing is in a really cool little 5-pack. The box is super cool, paint splatter, you know, graffiti kind of vibes, which is really awesome. And then also too, there is it looks like those two different Jalapa primings. You can actually, one's kind of peeking underneath. Now I'm not certain if it's like a full leaf and they're just kind of separated enough to where you can see it underneath.
Sure.
Or if it is just that little bit. But I think this was a really cool experience for me because you could literally taste every time you got into, you know, that little bit of the different Jalapa wrapper, which, you know, it's not like a classic barber pole.
Yeah.
But I had some reservations walking into it because I don't necessarily enjoy those style cigars on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So I was a little apprehensive going into this, but it was a kind of middle of the road smoke for me. It definitely has those cool classic Nicaraguan kind of minerally tones to it, but real nice medium body midday smoke. You know, I would revisit it again, but this was one of my lesser favorites for Cavalier.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, really.
Mike, what'd you think?
Let's see, for the Toro proprietor, right? That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
This Prospektor was mild up front. It had a hint of mint on it right off the bat, as well as kind of in the middle. It went away, but it was replaced with more wood, cedar, oak, a lot more minty in the middle. Actually approaching menthol.
Yeah, I want a little bit of sweetness there.
I wrote down great burn line, as I have not even touched this up even once.
Nice.
So that was great. Thank you very much. And I was a little worried because the unique elements of this wrapper, you know, for sure. But it was a good, dead solid, you know, average, you know, cigar. Yeah, I enjoyed. I think I enjoyed the unique nature of this particular cigar.
Yeah.
This has both a good storyline as well as I think it was telling the tale of somebody that's saying, I don't want to just make more of the same. I am willing to, you know, look at other parts of the plant to actually utilize.
So I'm looking here online at the Cigar World, and they have a little bit of something to say about primings, just so we can let some folks know here. It says, why does it matter when the tobacco leaf is harvested, from what zone it was taken? It's all the same tobacco, right? So the amount of sun a tobacco leaf receives and how long it's left to mature can significantly impact its color, flavor, and combustibility. Leaves taken during the first priming sit close to the ground. As such, they have some shade to cover the leaves from above them. What's more, they're harvested first, so the leaves taken in the first primings are usually lighter, frailer, and produce milder flavor cigars. Yeah, for sure. Then the leaves taken later in priming, since they're harvested early, they retain more of the tobacco leaf's natural sweetness, which is where you would probably get some of that mentholatum kind of flavor from. So that makes a lot of sense. What did you guys think about this? We're going to rate it here.
I have to round up a little bit.
We're going to go with 3s. All right. Well, we are on to the Lancero with the event-only Lancero.
So it was actually banded as a undisclosed blend, is how it was.
So I'm going to read here what the website says.
Yeah.
Can I get some crickets?
We don't have crickets, though.
Banned once again.
Yeah. So nothing online is mentioned about this, and I even asked Sebastian at the PCA, and he was like, "We don't tell anyone what this is," but I have a suspicion that it's kind of what they roll for themselves to smoke. but it's also in a Lancero, which is, as you know, my favorite size.
Not a superior size.
It is the best size, period. But let me think what you guys think about that. What did you guys think, Rich?
I thought it was felt a little peppery on the light. It smoothed out real quickly. Mine was very loosely rolled, and it smoked pretty fast. The ash was loose, so
could that be that you smoked it
yeah,
fast?
well, you know.
We talked about this earlier.
You got somewhere to be, man. Come on.
There. No. I've smoked cigars for a long time.
Didn't say you didn't.
You know, but
you smoked them fast for years. I know. It's fine.
I'm just waiting for Barger to break out like a metronome for you. You know, it's like tick, 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 and puff,
and puff,
and tick, and tick.
There's a cadence.
Slow down there.
You know. Hang on a second. I gotta wait. Now I can have. Now I can have a draw.
That's right. I did find it. No, I found it was okay. I didn't find it, exquisite or outstanding in any particular way. So
what's interesting is I'm not gonna parrot what you're saying on that, but I think that this cigar, an event only, is just kind of a solid staple, like a run of the mill cigar for them. It's not. It doesn't take characteristics of some of their other lines that they have, like their inner circles, which we didn't get on this, but what we have put them in the PCA episode. If you want to hear our review and talk about those inner circles, go check out our PCA episode because it's in there. And then they also have limited editions. Each year they've been released. They've released a limited edition, and those cigars are fantastic. But this event only is just kind of a run of the mill. This is a cigar and we give it away. This is a good cigar. It's not a bad cigar, but it's not one you're just going to run to grab. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to grab a Cavalier, you're probably going to overlook that one and get a white or a black or a Viso Jalapa or something, even their new graffiti series, is a budget stick. It's like $7.99 shelf, $8.99 shelf. Freaking fantastic cigars, like amazing cigars.
Also super cool. Like if that's their mindset on the event only, I think there's a lot of brands out there that do the event only is supposed to be this maybe like super exclusive. You can only get it at an event.
Yeah, like a holy grail.
Or something like we're working on and we're trying to get some feedback maybe. So if we're going to be giving out samples, it needs to be,
it's a $100,000 order. We'll give you this one stick.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And for them to it being that handshake smoke.
Yeah.
It's the one that you can hand to anyone.
That's right.
And they can have a decent smoking experience no matter their experience or exposure level to smoking handmade premium cigars.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like that your experience is not off of my experience is what I'm trying to get at. Mike, what do you think?
Well, my notes actually echo almost the same thing that Rich said. And I'm just going to read it.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. A tad spicy up front. It was very well balanced in the middle. I had a much better finish than some of the other sticks in the flight. So, good solid stick. I think the one thing I wanted to add was, as we're talking about the cigar, the thing that may be playing through your head is, how can I get one? And so I think you're going to have a friend that is at your local retailer that, for whatever reason, they might have picked up an extra one, or maybe they didn't enjoy the one that was handed to them. And, maybe you'll have an opportunity to, to enjoy it through that. But I don't think there were a lot of these, that were made and handed out, beyond the show itself. So,
well, I think that, so actually, not to correct what you say, but this is when they have events in local stores. This is the cigar that they hand out.
Oh, so it's not just a trade show?
No. It's just
all event only. Yep.
All event only.
Event
so
only. Well, okay.
what I would say to add on to what you're saying is,
other than the fact that I'm always usually right, I'm wrong.
Yeah, but he's wrong. That's fine. That's wrong. But go to your local shop, guys. Go to your local shop. Talk to your people. When you find out they're having an event, if they're having a Cavalier event, go. Because their reps are extremely knowledgeable and their brand is fantastic, and you can get some really good deals on some really quality cigars. So I would just say go buy some cigars, get a couple of these event onlys, tell us what you think.
And this is just a snapshot into their portfolio. Like
absolutely
the Domaine Rouge, the limited editions.
So good.
These things go up another level.
Yeah. So their inner circle is the Domaine Rouge was the newest one, I believe, from 2024. Mm-hmm. The first one was called the Chateau, I believe.
That sounds accurate.
It's blue. It's got the blue label on it. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I screw up 2-letter words.
The homage.
The homage. That's what it is. Yeah, I was way off. I'm sorry about that. But
don't be sorry. Be careful.
Yeah, that's right. Be careful. But honestly, like, go try these cigars. Like, you're not gonna hate it.
Yeah, all in all, the Cavaliers are top of the line. Always be reaching for one.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Yeah, so let me take a little bit here and let's talk about some pairings. What do we do, Mr. Mike, with this half and half tea? What do you got?
Well,
I'll start calling you Mike half and half.
I had an Arnold Palmer with this,
guys.
A little bit of Mountain Dew.
Well, I already talked about the OEC Black Lager. Do not miss that. That was an excellent choice, and I can think of some other, straight up. Even a Berliner Weiss would have done very well. Even a Belgian straight up blonde,
a triple.
Yeah. I don't think you'd want to go down the path of something that was hoppy.
You don't know me.
That's right.
I was trying to think of some. I'm sorry. The other pairings I had with some of these, the Toro Proprietor. I remember that I had a line of Highland Scotch, with that, and there was one Highland Scotch that I had that was finished off in sherry, which is very common, choice. And I actually thought that was working really well because that menthol thing was kind of playing out, and I needed something that had some sugars, kind of laden in it. Yep. And the sherry finish really just kind of rounded things out for me. And I thought, yeah, that kind of works for me.
So, what's interesting, and like I said, we didn't go over the inner circle, but one of my favorite pairings is their Domaine Rouge with the coffee con leche. So, any type of coffee, but the coffee con leche, the Cuban coffee, is just fantastic pairing. Absolutely.
It's tough for me to have something that is overloaded with sugar. I think with a lot of cigars, I'm generally looking for something that, it's not going to fight with the cigar.
Yeah.
And sugars can just walk in and just obliterate a room.
They can.
On your palate. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that, for me, and I guess when we talk about our headspace and talk about what pairs well and what goes, like, that was one of my most favorite experiences with that. So what about you, Benjamin?
So I've been into some cool NA beers recently.
Oh, yeah.
Running a new bar program and constantly trying new things. Yeah. Athletic is really good. Brewdog Punk AF.
Okay.
Yep, we had that one on the show.
Yeah. Super tasty. If you're looking for an alcohol alternative, this one scratches an itch.
Nice.
Right. It still tastes like a really well-developed beer.
They do not suck.
No.
Yeah.
Rich?
Yeah. So I'm always going to go with the non-alcoholic choices. I've discovered lately there's a pineapple juice that sounds terrible.
Sounds awesome to me.
But it is fantastic. Even though there is some sweetness to it, I found it's like the Simply Pineapple
brand.
Nice.
Yeah, and I find it pairs pretty good, tends to even out some of the smokes.
Well, awesome. Well, we had some great conversation today with Cavalier. We had a really good time with this. Thank you, Cavalier, for supplying us with this cigars to review. And would like to take a second to thank JB's Whiskey House for hosting us.
Thank you, JB's.
Whiskey House.
Whiskey House. We have a good time here. It's a good time. And I want to thank our co-host. Thanks, good old boy Benjamin.
Smoke them if you got them.
Thanks, good old boy Mike.
Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, go back and check out any of our episodes in the past, and I will ask you to keep on sipping.
Good old boy Rich.
I just love being here. Keep on smoking as well.
Yeah? You're over there like, what do I do with my hands?
I know.
Oh,
it's okay.
I think your right hand works better than
that's
your left
right.
hand.
And this is good old boy Barger asking you to keep on smoking whatever it is you're smoking. Just enjoy your life and have a great day. Thank you, guys.
Really?
Well, yeah, for now. I mean, at least.
Rich, do you enjoy your left hand or your right hand better?
I'm ambidextrous, I have to say.
Switch hitter.
It depends on the day.
He'll gain 2 strokes switching hands.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
Tap it in.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip Suds and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
millions, and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip Suds and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.